choice online news. Save Hyatt for the Hyatt hotels around the world and the fans of Hyatt hotels. Here I have a very well-known chef and as well as a brand name here in Southeast Asia called the Garibaldi, right? Garibaldi group of restaurants here in Singapore. And here I have the founder, the executive chef, Roberto Galetti, sorry, Roberto Galetti, and who is the managing director and executive chef for the Garibaldi group of restaurants. Now, Chef Roberto, you have successfully set up this chain of restaurants here in Southeast Asia, especially in the Republic of Singapore, since 2003.
Right.
When you first started your operations, were there any criteria that you set with you and your partners?
No, when my partner approached me and offered me the opportunity to open the restaurant, the first things I request is that I have to run the operation. If they want to be an investor, they have to be an investor and stand behind. So that was very clear from the beginning. In fact, I'm the only one between our partners to run the operation, and they are just supporting from behind, but not involved directly in the operation.
And how many restaurants today have you set up so far?
Today we have around 15 restaurants between restaurants that we own directly and some of them are also franchising. And we're expanding already in Malaysia, Vietnam and Hong Kong.
Now, speaking about expansion, and your dreams and your hopes that you have now seen since 2003, was that in your thoughts so far before this happened?
No, never. I never expected to be so successful. I never expected even to open one restaurant. I never dreamed to open a restaurant, but opportunity situation brought me to open the first one in 2003, our Garibaldi in Singapore. After that, one by one, it's coming natural, it's coming like a circle.
And what was your first signature dish that you created when you first opened the first restaurant?
When I opened Garibaldi, the first dish was definitely the gnocchi with gorgonzola, and still in the menu nowadays. Very successful dish, but following this we have 5-6 dishes that we can't touch from the menu. If I remove from the menu, a lot of customers will be disappointed.
Really? Did you trademark it then?
I'm not afraid about competition. I mean, people can try to copy and everything, but signature dish comes from your heart, so it's difficult to copy.
Really? And so have you trained your chefs to actually duplicate those on the menu?
I have a couple of guys, one from Malaysia, one from Singapore, that are with me since opening, since 2000. Actually, they joined 1 year after, 2004. I can tell you they cook better than Italians sometimes.
Really?
They are very good.
Aren't you afraid that they may just leave the restaurant and go on to sell their own?
Could be. I will be very happy for them if one day they will be successful and have their own restaurant.
Amazing.
I will be supporting them.
And speaking about supporting, have you considered the risk and failure as part of the option when you first set up? And if you have failed for the first time, will you still have the motivation to persist?
The fear to fail is always there. You never know, because too many factors bring you to be a successful man. You could be successful because good food, situation, economy, right moment, but you could be very good and not be successful. So there is too many factors sometimes that play roles inside this situation. I remember an old story somebody told me about one emperor that he used, one Roman emperor that one attack Africa, and he came down with all the ship, and then all the captain, once they arrived to Africa, all the people went down on the beach, and the captain prepared the ship, turn it ready to going back. And the emperor said, "What are you doing?" "We are preparing the boat in case something goes wrong." I said, "Guys, or we win or we die." And he burned all the ship. So there's no way to come back. That story is always on me all the time. So anytime I try to do something, I go for be successful. I need to find a way to be successful. So, of course, fear to fail is there, but I try to minimize, to not thinking negative, but thinking only positive, thinking that will be successful. Believing in this one, you will be successful.
And how do you do that? Do you keep yourself happy every day?
You know,
Have you found happiness?
The group find happiness and try every single day. I try to keep myself happy and smiling and motivated. This, yes, because it's contagious. As much as problem I have, every time I enter in the restaurant, I try to smile and be positive. And my staff feeling this one, and they also got this approach. If I enter sad with the face bad, they will also get scared and the day will be a disaster.
So is it typical for you to sing or play some Italian songs or crack some jokes?
I also have music in the kitchen.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When I work, I wanna listen music. The same music we are playing in the restaurant, we are playing also in the kitchen for the staff.
Any particular music that you love?
Oh, Italian.
Oh, Italian.
All Italian, even older song. I love it.
Any-
Full of passion, full of love.
And who would be your biggest fan of any Italian artist that you have in mind that you love hearing?
I have so many,
So many.
from Branduardi to the Pooh to many Italian singers, but mostly on the old generation. Because those are still have a strong voice and a lot of heart and passion when they sing. The younger, they doesn't have any voice and no passion.
And so, have you ever failed in some of your ventures since 2003?
Yes, I failed once. I trust a person and I want to develop a business for this person. The brand was a Desté, was sweet and chocolate, mostly chocolate and cake, very, very high class. I failed because I advanced the timing too early. That concept could be good maybe now that the market is much more open. When we started, it was too early. People was not ready to spend good money for chocolate or good money for cake, but the cake was amazing. But people was not ready for that. They still eating affordable cake, sponge style, and it was not open yet to the market. Nowadays, plenty of chocolate market around, but I opened 5 years ago. It was too early.
But are you still going to do that right now?
No. We closed down the brand. The guy went back to Italy, and that's it. No, I actually entered in a market that is not my market. I'm very good at doing restaurant. Entering a place doing the chocolate bar. It was not my business, so I learned a lesson.
Oh.
Luckily, it was not too expensive for me. But I failed on that. Yes, it's still burning to me.
Understand. And what is your philosophy of success as a chef running the business? And did your parents give you any advice on life and running the business as well?
No, I come from a very poor family, and my mother and my father just work in a factory. None of our family is involved in a restaurant business, so I didn't get anything from anyone. What I got it, I learning every day, doing the operation, trying, if I do mistake, just trying to recover faster, to minimize the damage. My philosophy is, when I wake up every day, I look myself in the mirror and today will be another beautiful day.
So it's amazing. So you did not receive any formal training on how to run a business? So it's just well.
It's just feeling. Every time I open a restaurant, I go and visit the location. If I have a good feeling, I feel that could be, maybe I carry on. If even I visit a location, amazing, beautiful, but when I enter, I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel energy, I don't feel the right things, I didn't take the place.
So it's all about the gut feeling then. Very good. And so you believe in the gut feeling?
Yes.
And it works for you?
It works for me. So it will be stupid to stop to believe in that.
And that's like who's this guy? The investor Soros and Warren Buffett said the same thing. They go on their gut feeling. You know? So it is said that you started to aspire to be a chef, and you cooked for your brother when he was 11, and you were, and how old were you then?
Yes, this one is the first time I attempted to prepare something. I was 7 years old. We was living with grandmother in a house, and grandmother was sick. So my mother was taking care of the grandmother, and my brother came back from school, and he was hungry. So he telling my mother, I'm hungry, give me something. And Mama said, okay, wait a moment, I take care of Grammy first, and then I do something for you. And then I was there, I said, Mama, don't worry, I do something for him. Even my mother was like, what do you do? So there was some bread on the table, I opened the chiller, there was some tomato sauce, some mozzarella. So I just take the bread, I put tomato on top, mozzarella, and I put it in the oven. And then it was melted. It was my first attempt maybe to do a pizza. And my brother ate it, and even my mom was astonished like this. No?
So it was pizza, is that correct?
It was a kind of pizza done with bread. I just take some bread, I toast it, I put tomato and mozzarella on top.
Amazing. So at the age of 7, he started cooking for his brother and his family, perhaps, since then.
After that, my mother always noticed that I have interest in the kitchen, so it keep me close. Every time she goes to supermarket, I go with her. Every time she cooking something, I always stand next there. And I also create a small booklet with 29 recipes that my mother cook all the time, and there is pictures of myself stirring rice with her or helping her doing gnocchi. The gnocchi that we mentioned before is my signature is coming from her.
So will this book be available soon?
This booklet is already the 3rd edition. We print 3 times already. Yes, it's not a book for selling. It's just a small booklet that I give as a gift to all my customers here in Garibaldi. So whoever wants it can come to Garibaldi and take it.
Amazing. And how did you balance your work life and family? I mean, it's a very busy industry.
It's very difficult actually, because people that really love and put all the passion in this business, they're successful only if they commit themselves 100%. And very difficult to find a woman that support you and stay at your side far. In a sense that a real woman that really love you, he never stress you, never involve you, because you have to motivate it yourself and give all the commitment to the restaurant. Most of the chefs successful are, divorced or the wife run away, and you never know. So for me, it's not been easy balance everything. And anytime I can devote some time to my family, I straight give it to them. But I can tell you it's very tiring. For them as well, always they are waiting, and for me also try to give a balance between my customer, my staff, and run away to stay with them. It's not easy. Until now I can manage, but I hopefully can continue.
Well, you have 15 restaurants to run today.
Yes, but I'm doing a change now, in a sense that when I start, I set up all the restaurants, and now all these restaurants are run by professional people. Most of them are my partner in the business. So the original partners, they remain at the main holding. The holding now own many restaurants, and many of these restaurants have a partner chef or partner manager together. So they are the one now running day-by-day operation. I'm involved just as a shareholder in this moment. So that's why now I'm turning a bit, and I'm going back to the origin. So I'm going back to Garibaldi. Since actually 1st of June, I'm back to Garibaldi. I'm back to cook in Garibaldi and spend time only in this restaurant now. Because all the rest, honestly, I have to say thanks to all my employees and the staff, they really running very well.
So how many hours do you spend in the restaurant these days?
Now I'm here from morning till night, every day.
Three-
In Garibaldi only.
Are you talking about 3 hours? No, of course
No,
not.
I'm talking about I usually arrive around 9:30, 10 o'clock. I check in the kitchen with my staff what we're receiving today. We prepare a daily list of the specials. It get printed. Then I just went to the office to sign a few check, whatever I have to do, email. 12 o'clock I'm in the kitchen until 2:30. Then I go back to the office. Sometimes I have some interview. Sometimes we have a catering. Then I go outside, carry on my duty in the office. Around 6:30, come back in the kitchen. We have a briefing with the staff. Then we carry on again until 10:30. And then is when 10:30, 11, I start to relax a bit. If I have some customer that are doing an event here, I spend time with them. Otherwise, if 10:30, 11 is okay, I go back home.
Oh, amazing. Now speaking about your business empire today, what kind of challenges do you face? And in comparison from 10 years ago,
Okay.
is inflation, the price of food itself, have they and manpower have they increased dramatically, and
Yes.
and how do you cope and able to make prices affordable for your customers?
Okay, the situation changed a lot in 10 years. This city, I'm talking about Singapore, grow a lot, grow so fast that we need every time to be flexible and adjust ourselves. Price went high in the food, yes, went high in the ingredient, went high in the rent and the salary of the staff. But the competition is so strong nowadays. So many restaurants opened in the last 5 years that to be competitive, we needed to reduce our margin and make the dish that we sell more affordable. But in the same time, we need to be careful to not lower it too much, otherwise we are not able to pay the rent and the stuff. So there is a lot of things that is difficult to manage, but you can do only if you are doing in a professional way. Only if you are able to be careful in every single point, every single aspect of the business, then you can succeed. Unfortunately now, in this city, too many unprofessional players came in. And those unprofessional players have a lot of money, they run the restaurant even they are in a loss. And some other, they want to be competitive and they reduce the prices so much that after, in 6 months, they close down. This problem brings customer to be spoiled in a certain sense, because customer come and say, hey, why your pasta is $25? Until yesterday I got pasta there for $16. I said, it's ingredient different, but if you feel comfortable going there. Oh no, they closed down already. Of course, they can't survive. We needed to open a restaurant nowadays is not anymore like 10 or 20 years ago when you just open, you bring humor and cook something, customer buy. No, customer is be careful when they spend their money, and the rent and the cost involved is too high now for just play a game. You need to be very professional nowadays.
Amazing. And so you mentioned earlier in our reports that you love to cook in a traditional way.
Yes.
And simple, and yet you like to experiment and not wanting to use any other ingredients that's not part of the Italian cuisine.
Yes. This has always been my strong motivation.
And why is it so?
Okay, I believe that an Italian restaurant outside Italy should have a strong identity. If in an Italian restaurant, when you as a customer go for Italian food, you found soya sauce or you found lemongrass from Thailand, you feel that it's not Italian restaurant anymore. So when the people overseas, they go in an Italian restaurant, they want and they expect in this one. So my philosophy in every restaurant that I do, because the German and the French are the same, the identity has to be there. The ingredient has to be as much as close to the Italian flavor. So I import a lot of my tomato, my olive oil, the flour that I'm using for the pasta is all imported by some supplier for me, but from Italy. So I will never ever use ingredient that is not part of the tradition of Italy. And Italy have a strong culture of homemade cooking, mama style cooking, and doesn't exist any kind of molecular, it's new trend coming up now, but the original Italian restaurants, they are serving simple food, well done. So what I do in Garibaldi, I don't use any technique of molecular style, but the food is good. It has to be a food that you can eat every day. In fact, my regular customers, they come 2-3 times a week.
Oh, so it's not fusion, but it's just traditional Italian.
The word fusion can't be used in any of my restaurants. I never open any restaurant fusion, but every restaurant has its own strong identity.
Amazing. And is there a demand today from your customers, especially the silver age emerging? We're talking about the elderly and so forth. Is there a strong demand for fresh and organic produce for your customers? Do they demand for it these days?
Not really demanding for organic food, but asking more for light food. So I noticed a lot of customers, they're moving more in healthy style. So when we take order, they ask, please less butter, please no cream. There is this one, and it's not a problem for me because Italian food also comes with light flavor because we use a lot of olive oil. Olive oil also we import directly, and we try to check the best olive oil in Italy. So we already moving in this direction without waiting for our customer pushing us in this direction. And like I said, not much request for the organic itself, but for lighter food, more healthy, yes.
And can your customers able to obtain these ingredients from your restaurant directly, or have they thought of encouraging you to set up your own grocery store?
No, really, we are a restaurant, we are not a grocery. But my regular buy from me my tomato, the salt I import from Sicily, they buy from me sometimes the white asparagus when I bring the asparagus. The regular people, they know they can have it and I sell it to them. If somebody come and ask, I will give it, no problem at all. For me, it's a culture, it's a matter of, a tomato tastes tomato. It's amazing. But if you go around, many tomato doesn't taste the tomato. It just have the shape and the color of tomato, but in taste is nothing. So it's important. The product is important. To be honest, a chef can be a good chef, but if the product is not good, chef doesn't do miracle.
So you taste every produce that comes into the restaurant?
Yes, definitely.
Wow.
Nowadays, I believe that a good chef is not only the one is good in cooking, but is good in selecting the ingredient.
Oh, okay. So that must be very, very challenging for you. For all the chefs there to...
I've been in this city for so many years, and I always work very close with the supplier. I know many people in Italy, I know many producers, so I bring some of the suppliers in Italy, introduce them, so they started to import from me. So I give the source to my supplier, and they go and buy for me. So it's much easier for me to get the product that I want.
Amazing. That's a tremendous challenge.
When I came the first time in Singapore, I requested for pear, and they bring me a piece of stone. It was a shape of pear, but it was really so hard. And I told the supplier, this is not pear. Pear is supposed to be juicy, tender. No, this is pear. He gave me the invoice. Look at here, pear. This is pear. No, pear, there is 1,000 of pear. But you need to create this culture inside the supplier as well. When I first arrived here, it was a disaster. But now, thanks to the job that I did and many other chefs like me, they did in the last 10 years, big name like Rebuchon or Santi or Gisavois can come in the market now and find a good product. And that probably is the reason why those big players, they come now, not 10 years ago. They've been clever. They waiting until people like us, pioneers, open the market and bring the product. And now is the time for them to arrive.
Amazing. And thanks to your pioneership here in Southeast Asia, is there any mentor or chef that you admire and that you would describe worthy, that has assisted you in what you're doing today?
When I first started my career, there was this chef, Mr. Giacomo Gallina. He was the executive chef of the Bice group of restaurant, and he was the one that he opened the possibility for me to travel. In fact, I worked close to him and with Bice Group for 7 years between London, Buenos Aires, Tokyo and Singapore. And Mr. Giacomo Gallina always followed my career, and especially here in Singapore, we worked in the same restaurant for 2 years. And he was the one that pushed me all the time to challenge, to every time there is a situation that is difficult, don't avoid it and run away. Face it and fighting for that. So, chef sometimes is a lion, is a king inside the kitchen, but come to go in the dining room and speak with the customer, they became very shy. Giacomo helped me to face these things, and nowadays I'm able to be the soul of my restaurant, because I can be in the kitchen and the dining room and facing my customer and talking with them. Many of my customers are president, CEO of big company, and they don't want I call Mr. Tan or Mr. They want I call them per name, because when they come here, they feel at home. My philosophy in Garibaldi is that this is my house, and all of you are my friends, customer but friends. So you have to feel it at home. Even in my wine cellar, I create a space for them with the name of them. They purchase the wine for me and I store for them. And then when they come with their friends, they go inside the cellar, they open their own locker and they see, oh, I have this wine, what we drink tonight. They feel it at home. That's the feeling that I want to continue to maintain in this restaurant. People do not say, let's go to Garibaldi tonight for dinner. They say, let's go to see Roberto tonight. And that is very good for me. It's very nice feeling, because we've been able to create this relation between us, and there is mutual respect, and then they became loyal to the restaurant as well.
Oh, amazing. So you actually have a locker especially for your customers to
Yes.
store your wines in your restaurant?
Yes, if they buy
Amazing.
from me.
Yes, of course. And is there a particular bulk order they have to buy from?
No, starting from 6 bottles.
6 bottles. Oh,
It's
amazing.
not much.
So please come to Singapore and and visit the Garibaldi restaurant and buy more wines from him so that you can have a storage here. And really, sorry, Hyatt, I'm not trying to destroy you. So, Mr. Roberto, or Chef Roberto, I'm sorry. Are there any plans for expansion or would you be thinking about having any published works like a cookbook or biography of yourself in the near future?
I don't consider myself so important to have a biography, so no, totally no biography. Cookbook I don't mind, but not really a cookbook of Roberto, but maybe a cookbook of Garibaldi restaurant. I don't mind to do that. It's not in my immediate plan, so maybe it could be in the future, maybe another 3-4 years time. Expansion now, there is a plan of expansion, and there is all this brand that I built, and now those people that are running this brand are expanding. For me now, it's moment to going back now, and that's why I'm coming back to Garibaldi in Singapore, and I have this dream now to back to the origin and back to what make me happy again, and is cooking directly in the kitchen. For a few years I didn't touch much kitchen itself because I was opening and running contracts and all the hard job you have to do behind the restaurant, office job. But now I really want going on this direction, and for the next few years I definitely will concentrate only on Garibaldi restaurant.
And also, I came to believe that you also give cooking classes.
Yes.
In Singapore. And,
Yes.
Or even elsewhere. Is there any right now, running in the next 6 months?
We have a program. We start in January. It's 29 class, and we are doing mostly one Saturday yes, one Saturday no. And this class, I created this cooking class because I want to be more closer to my customer. I want to create more friendship, and all the students now are very regular customers in the restaurant as well. I think I have to say that it's a great move, very successful, and we will, once we finish this year, we will see what else we can do, because actually it takes me a lot of time to organize this one, but I'm happy to do that.
Oh, and before we close, could you give 3 points of counsel for aspiring chefs, who wants to aspire in the footsteps? Lifetime advice.
Lifetime advice.
Yes, given by for everyone, even by your parents probably. Did your mother give you some advice that aspire you?
Yeah, definitely. My parents, they always teach me to be humble and honest. So this is one of the priority. You need to be humble and honest with your customer, with your staff. You need to be flexible. Flexibility is another key of the success. Restaurant business is based on people, and trend and situation change every single day. So you cannot stick with one idea forever. You need to change. When the things are changing, the worst is not do nothing. You need to follow and change as well. Sometimes my chef, they told me, "Chef, but yesterday you told us to do in this way, and today I tell you to do in another way. What's the problem?" Just change, and everything go back to the feeling. I have this feeling that I need to do a move. In a moment where the economy, it was 2008, 2009, the economy was doing extremely well, instead of increase my price, I reduce my price. Because I was already anticipating the bad economy coming later. So when the things going bad and you reduce the price, people feel, hey, then you cheat me until now. Because before economy go, I pay. Now the same things I pay half. Why? You make a great margin before. So I was doing opposite. I always try to go in opposite way, but find my own way to succeed. So for those that they wanna step nowadays and be successful, they need to have a very clear idea what they want and believe in the dream. But keep yourself humble, loyal, honest, and flexible.
And speaking about humility,
Yes.
honest and flexible, thank you, Chef Roberto Galetti. Galetti. I'm very sorry. I'm not very good at my Italian, but thank you, Chef Roberto. And thank you for joining me here at the National Critics' Choice Hyatt and Robin Stienberg.
Thank you.